Hey, what's up, fellas? I'm Luscious Female Fan Steve-alicious here with the Nokia Lumia 1020 after quite a long time of not using it. Powered it back up, and I gotta tell you, originally I had in mind a different video for today. I was going through and I said, well, you can't do this, and you can't log on to this anymore, and you can't do any of this stuff. But then I used it a little bit more, put a SIM back in it. I said, well, you can still sort of do this, you can still do this. It still works with this. It's like that scene in Wolf of Wall Street where he's up front, he's giving his speech, he's going to retire to avoid prosecution. He stops, he looks out at all the faces, all the sad faces, and says, I ain't going anywhere. Well, that's what we're going to be doing. If you're using Windows 8.1 on your Lumia 1020 or any other device, you're on the side of angels, my friends. And we're going to talk about it today on this edition of Steve-alicious Tech. And we're back as always. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers, up over 3,800 on our march to 4,000. If you've been loving all the tech videos, both new and old, go ahead and give that subscribe button a tussle. It certainly means a lot to me. So let's talk about the Nokia Lumia 1020. I understand there are plenty of ways to force upgrade it to Windows 10. But the only ones that I've ever done have been the over-the-cable updater that they have. This one doesn't seem to be eligible for that, but I understand there's an offline way to do it with cab files and whatever else. That stuff goes over my head. But plus, you do lose some features of the 1020 that were functioning on Windows 8.1 that you then don't get when you upgrade it to Windows 10. So I wanted to keep it as stock as possible and see what we could do. If you're using one, if you've used one in the past, you know what you're getting. You're getting a phenomenal device, something that's unique. Look at this yellow for one, the camera hump, the design, the 41 megapixel camera. You're getting the AMOLED display from 2013, which is great, 4.5 inches, feels great in the hand. Brightness, a dark mode, a dark theme before there was even a term for dark mode, before anyone even thought about it on those other platforms, iOS, Android, whatever else. You had the dark theme to save on battery. The contrast, the saturation with that OLED is fantastic. The great battery life out of the 2,000 milliamp hour battery because of how power efficient Windows Mobile is. So I decided to go back and see what was left. You start to get discouraged, not going to lie. You load up Xbox Companion, doesn't work. You try to go to the store, forget it. Been offline for a while now. You're not going to be able to download other stuff. You go to update some apps. See, I went to go update the Weather Channel app, nothing. Tried to take me to the store. It says, hey, there's an update available, and it just does nothing. It broke it. Some stuff will still work. So I took a step back from that. I said, well, let's think about what you need. What's the base functionality to still be using this bad boy? Put the SIM in it, and oddly enough, this was an AT&T variant one. This is my original one from 2013. AT&T variant. Some of my phones from 2019, you put an AT&T SIM, it's kicking it off the network. This one from, I don't know how long that's going to last, because this uses 3G for voice, I believe. But you put a SIM in it didn't whine, didn't cry, just let me send text and all the rest of it. So, text messaging works. MMS works. I was able to send picture messages back and forth. Phone obviously works. Email works. No problem. My Hotmail account, I was able to log into. Google, Gmail, believe it or not, it'll let you sync it up here. No issues. I was getting Gmail on here without any problem. This is where it starts to get a little trickier, though. You're kind of at the mercy of what you already had on your device. So don't wipe your device if you can avoid it. Keep what you had on there, because eBay, you can't go ahead and get that on there now, but eBay works just fine. I was able to pull it up and see stuff. My feed is lonely, but if you go ahead and do a search, I don't know, Galaxy, whatever. I don't know why I was searching for that. It's able to pull stuff up and you're able to get results. So some stuff will still work. The APIs, for whatever reason, are still connected, even if you can't download them new from the store. So I said, well, okay, what if you need a little bit more than base functionality? Because that's really the measure. I understand that for a lot of people, if you're looking for a minimalist device and you're just looking for a cool, unique design that's going to catch some catch some compliments, some eyes, turn some heads, you'll go with something like this. Love the lanyard, by the way. That came in the box. How cool was that from 2013 with the strap for it and everything? But you need a little bit more. Email, text, phone. What if you wanted to go a little bit beyond that? And that's where, believe it or not, Windows 8.1, you can still do stuff. So if you had OneNote on here, still from whatever, and it should be on there by default, OneNote still works fine. And it syncs up with PC and your other Windows devices. I could get my notebooks, I could get everything, I make a change, it comes to here. No problem. So I was really shocked by that, being as you can't log into some of the servers. You can't log into the Xbox Live servers, and you can't log in to the Windows Store. So I was quite pleased by that. OneDrive works. Okay? Having no issue there. Photos I took because of that bizarre alliance that they have with Samsung now. Photos I took on my Fold 2 were able to transfer over to here wirelessly without me doing anything. So I think if you're able to do that, that's a mark of a phone that's still connected, still has an ecosystem, still is viable in 2021 to use. You're not having to do things back and forth. You're not having to email yourself pictures or documents or whatever. You could go on there, use OneNote, and sync stuff back and forth. You could use OneDrive, get files and stuff back and forth without issue. That's pretty good for a phone that's going on 9 years, 8 years now. That you would think, for the most part, because 8.1 is not supported, they took the store away, they took your ability to log into some stuff away, you're still able to do quite a few things on here. So I'm liking that. The other thing, if you're using Office, no issue. You go on here, pull it up, you're able to do documents, Excel spreadsheets, stuff like that. Send it to OneDrive so you can get it back and forth. You can work on something, start on something on your PC, send it over here. You're getting great performance. Listen, I've seen devices with the Snapdragon S4 Plus in them that run terribly. You would never want to use them. You didn't even want to use them back then, let alone now, 8 years later. But this, because of how optimized Windows Mobile is and was, you're getting phenomenal performance even today. Snappy, great, everything works, just smooth as could be, simple, nothing you don't need, no all these widgets and whatever else, and the integration was great. That's the one thing that's really a shame. The fact that you're moving away from some of the live tiles and some of the friends stuff and stuff that you don't get updated anymore. But personally, you can still get some of that on Windows 10. I really like the design of Windows 8.1. I know I'm not alone there. Whenever I do a Windows Phone video, people are really upset some of the changes they made with Windows 10. I would like to go back to 8.1. So if you have a device with 8.1 that still has some apps on it, do your best not to have to refresh the OS or do a clean install, because you'll lose that stuff and you can't go back on the store. But as long as the APIs are still working, you're fine. Couple things real quick that might limit you a little bit. Microsoft Explorer, or Internet Explorer, is done. Nothing on the internet supports it anymore. Even that AppScope website that you could kind of get these web apps for Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that are not going to work. You can get YouTube to work on here through the app, but Twitter and Instagram are a no-go. They just don't support it anymore, and you're going to get an error. Maybe there's a way around it. I don't know. If you do, let me know in the comment section below if you somehow managed to get around that. But so far, I haven't been able to. And those apps that I usually recommend for Windows 10 when we do those Windows applications videos are not going to work on here. So you're really stuck with mobile versions of websites, mobile version of YouTube, mobile version of some other stuff that'll still support older Internet Explorers. That's going to be one limitation if you really want to daily drive this in 2021 that you're going to have to overcome. Other than that, phenomenal camera, even still in good light. I don't know what images I'm going to insert here, but I'm going to insert some. We're going to talk about why in a second, but I'm going to put some pictures in here that you could see. 41 megapixels, still holds up in good light. Just phenomenal. What was it? What was the zoom range? I don't even know if it has it on here, but you had optical zoom. You had we'll go into the app real quick as well, because that still works fine, obviously. So we'll go into the Lumia camera. And some of the functionality you got. I mean, think about when this phone came out. 2013 and you're able to deal with white balance and ISO and all that stuff, that's stuff that you weren't getting on cameras. You were lucky to get point and shoot on phones back then, but you're going to get some really decent shots even today with this device. Micro USB, listen, not the fastest charge in the world, but thankfully you're only going to be doing it overnight because the thing's going to last the entire day. Could you still do it? Yeah, if you really want it, you can do it. So here's what we're going to do. That's why I said we're going to insert some photos in here that I'm going to use later. I have an AT&T SIM in here. I don't know how long they're going to keep. At the end of the year, they say perhaps stuff is not going to work. Or they're going to start taking stuff off the network. But we'll see. But for now, there's a SIM in here. I'm going to use it for 30 days. And I'll tell you, it's going to be my daily driver. Because I'm going to have another phone for stuff. But I'm going to carry this with me, activated with the SIM in it. We're going to do another video in a month's time. Go over how it was. Stuff maybe I've had to work around, learn how to work around. So help me out in the comment section below if you figured out ways to do things that make my life a little bit easier with this guy. But we're going to work through problems. And we're going to see if you could still survive with Windows 8.1, not being able to log into the servers and the store and all the rest of it for the next month. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, hey, listen, you're at least guaranteed one more Windows video in the next month. Have that Steve-alicious day.